It's the big, big conversation.
Welcome back to the show. Love in this generation looks different. Ambition is louder, money matters, everybody wants to make it. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, relationships are negotiating space. So today on The Big Conversation, we're asking a question that might shake some tables. Are Nigerian men intimidated by successful women? Now, this guest is no stranger on the show, and interestingly, he recently hosted a Valentine's event where young people gathered to talk about how social media has ruined love. So I'm sure he'll be bringing fresh perspectives from the streets and the studio. So joining us is Daniel Adaja. He's a broadcast journalist, a podcaster, and creative media consultant. He co-hosts Blast Rise on Blast FM and is the creative director of the Jollof Men, a community bringing young people together for meaningful conversations. Good to have you on the show again, Daniel.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very grateful.
It's just all the
Very interesting name.
Yes.
So yes,
guys.
So the idea was to create a safe space for young men to have like conversations.
Okay.
And we're like, what is something that just brings everybody together? And we like Jollof brings everybody together.
Oh,
so we just
fair
came up
enough.
with the name, the Jollof Men.
Ah, nice.
Yes.
because it seems like most times always women that are having conferences or women that are having
Yes.
clubs, and men
Yes.
are just out of the space.
Yes.
It's good
But
that
I
men
mean,
are having conversations. Good.
Very
Yes.
good. But I mean, from your recent events, now I'm sure you had, people share what love is like for them, or of course the
Absolutely.
role social media has played.
Yes.
And given that we're talking about, men being challenged by, successful men, just let us know the minds of some of these young people now.
Well, one of the things we spoke about at the event is that social media is changing and it's changing us as a people. One of the things that we don't agree to, but is happening, is that a lot of people are lost. There's an identity crisis.
Absolutely.
People have allowed social media to shape their ideologies for them. They don't even know who they are.
Right.
And we live in a society where even some parents don't even know who they are, and they have children. So the children are discovering themselves in a world that the parents didn't even live in. This is the first generation that would use phones before laptops, right? We would have access to phones before we have access to computers. So there's a different, this is a different generation. We're all first-timers in this new age, technically.
True.
We're first-timers in the new age.
Okay, so of course the big question is, do you think Nigerian men are intimidated by successful women?
It's not a yes or no answer.
I was going to say it's a yes or no. It's a yes or no question. That's what I was even going to say.
It's not a yes or no answer. And I say that because this is traditional patriarchy versus economic realities of today's world. That has changed us. This is the first time in the history of the world that we're having more successful women between the age of 25 and 40 in the working class.
Right.
This is the first time in the world where we have women below the age of 25 earning more than men. This is the first time in the world where 2 in 10 occupants in a house are single women.
Right.
So I wouldn't say Nigerian men are intimidated by women, right? The intimidation is threat, right?
Oh, it's a strong word.
Yeah, it is a really strong word. And there are some things that, why are men threatened by this? It's because of some traditional patriarchy that has been existing. Traditionally, men are said to be providers, to provide, protect, and profess. So the role of a man had been designed to provide. The world, quote and unquote, was designed to favor men. But that is not what is happening now. It is favoring the woman more than the man, right? Statistically talking, we're looking at 2035. We're going to see more women in leadership roles. In
2035 is too fast.
it's not too far, but we're going to see a lot more women in leadership role, and we'll see a lot more men in leadership role. And the hustle culture of women paid off.
Right.
Women wanted, in uni, for example, women were doing businesses, and for some reasons, the economy favored that hustle culture. So I wouldn't say we're threatened. I would just say that we're living in this new world differently.
Okay. Well, let me let the ladies come in now.
Because I know Fayoshe was doing business in uni.
So the ratio is different. So men are visionaries. We would want to take our time. So when a lot of women were running perfume businesses, skincare brands, clothing businesses, some men were learning like coding, data
Forex.
analysis. So those things take time, right? They take time to grow. And we saw that, you know, the fast-paced economy that we found ourselves gave rise to businesses like that to thrive.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So Nancy,
Mr.
do you
Daniel,
agree?
congratulations. You are going to be the first guest on this show that I would like 80% I agree with everything that has been said. So yeah,
Wow.
I agree with a lot of the things that you said, but I will not agree that men are not intimidated. The typical African man is intimidated by the success of a woman because, like you also said earlier, the men have been groomed to be protectors, providers. They rely on their money for the most part, right? And we've also lived in an age where for a long time, men have been the ones making money. So again, like I said, that gives them a sense of security. I'm the only one that has access. I'm the only one that has these resources. And so they lead with that. Now you're coming into an age where, like you said, women 25 and 40 are beginning to make moves, make money. And really, the man is questioning, okay, so where do I really fit into this scheme? Because now I don't really have a say as to how things are being done, because this woman has her money. She can choose to do whatever she wants to do. And so a typical, and then of course ladies too were groomed to rely on the resources and the funds of men. But now I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. I have my money, I have whatever I want to do, so I can even speak back. Before, women couldn't speak back because what are you speaking? In fact, till now we have families where women can't speak back to their men because they don't have anything to rely on. Say, okay, it's not working. Leave now. Leave to where? Where am I going? I don't have any resources. So, but the moment that lady starts making money, the man becomes intimidated. Which is why we always have to go, like, give it a tie back to the Japa syndrome. When these same people relocate and go abroad, and the woman now begins to make her own money, the man, you say, did I do mistake? Should I have brought her? Because now she's beginning to have mouth. That's all intimidation. That's being threatened by woman's success.
Yeah, that's the traditional patriarchy that has been existing for the longest. I think that we need to also approach this conversation a lot from a place of empathy, because all of us,
empathy on who? For the,
all of us, for the men. Because
why are we giving men empathy? I beg.
So, we are also first timers in an age where men and women are earning equally and women are earning more for a lot of people. The breadwinner syndrome is what has been driven to a lot of boys. You know, in a lot of African homes. In fact, one of the songs I hate the most is one we sang when we were kids. Daddy in the parlor watching film, mommy in the kitchen cooking. Right? That was a tradition for a long time. But we have homes, and then, you know, man will go to work, he comes back to meet wife and children. But now husband and wife have to go to work to make ends meet. And because our people we're not teaching how to evolve with the time. We had an identity crisis where we were not allowing ourselves to be shaped by our realities. So that affected how we began to process these things. And the people with low access, with low knowledge, were able to, like, you know, ride on some of these privileges. So that has shaped it for a lot of people.
So just before I even let Barrister Toju come in, I agree partly, right, that I think the typical Nigerian man, the African Nigerian man, or the traditional Nigerian man, is intimidated because, I mean, it's been in culture, just like you said. It's been in cultures where they're not even, it's not like they're directly taught, but I mean, from songs, from the way they see their parents do things, it's just ingrained in them. So, I mean, yes, I have empathy with the fact that some of them have this mindset, not of their own volition, but because it was nurtured in them, that, oh, they have the innate desire to provide. So when I now see this woman not needing me for anything, what is my usefulness? She doesn't, she has a car, she has a house. What am I now supposed to do? So that is that aspect. But I think now we now have a lot more people who are trying to evolve. Although some of them might not now be able to evolve properly, you still see them still having the whole mindset of, okay, you can have your car, you can have your house, but I mean, you still need to come to me for whatever you need. Or they will still maybe, their egos are still very delicate. Because if you now maybe make decisions without them, like, why didn't you tell me, stuff like that. So I think maybe, yes, the African Nigerian man is intimidated by successful women, but we now have a lot more people who maybe are, moving with, evolution of times and all
Can
of
I
it.
just quickly
But
add that that's also the reason why in workplaces,
yes,
men that are on top make it difficult for women to rise.
It's
because
changing.
they don't
It's
want them to
not.
surpass
It's
them.
changing.
But let
It's
me
changing.
let Barrister Soji come in,
Okay.
right? So would you now say, as a successful woman, should that successful woman now try to intentionally tone her success down just so she allows the man to thrive, so that he feels like a man, in quotes?
It's unfortunate that men, they found themselves in this quagmire. Like he rightly said, before now, you are trained to, like, they are the leaders of the home. Even me growing up, if you are 25 and your younger brother is 18, they will say if he has entered the shrine, you step down for him. He's not a man, that kind of thing. So you grow up with that kind of mentality. But I wouldn't want to agree totally with Nancy that women can't talk. Even in the days of yore, some women talk. You might not say it in the village square. Some women, it depends on the relationship you have with your husband. You can say, Nda, this thing that you are doing, I don't think. Some men will even come and meet their wives. And then the area of thinking that your wife will be more successful, the Igbo culture before now, the men will make sure that their wives go to school, they succeed, but it gives them that sense of, I'm the one providing. Even if he's a school sat person, the wife is going to school, she's a doctor, she's whatever, it's like added feather to his cap. I think the problem that we are having now is not being emotionally prepared for partnership, because this is where we found ourselves. That's why I say before courtship, during courtship, sit down. Once you sense any red flag, Valentine is red and the flag is the kind color, the red, just come out, because you know that this guy, he not send you, he has that thing. Do you know that this culture of when Eastern women, Kenya, Tanzania, when they come out and say, Nigerian men, they are this, when they praise them, it makes them want to even do more. They are happy that we are in this position, we are giving. Then you now find out that these people, you are in a relationship, you can't do anything. I always tell people, come out of law school the same year. The guy will be struggling. One guy will come from the Jollof group that is ready to marry, will just pick somebody, a girl, and marry. That guy, another one will be like, I've not gotten a car. I can't even rent 2-bedroom flat. It's not easy for them. I always feel sorry for guys when they've not settled down. So, but try and imbibe the culture of emotional preparedness, so that when you are going into a relationship, know the kind of person you are going out with. They say birds of the same feather should flock together. When you see that the person is that type that has some kind of thing, that you know that when the money comes, she won't even care. And then sometimes before the money comes, you, the man, you'll be misbehaving and doing what's not or what not. Then now she's not earning more than you. If you don't really have a mindset of forgiveness, you'll be like, okay, this time, payback time, I'm going to show you that.
But if truly we now see a scenario where maybe the woman is more established than the man, and maybe they're in a relationship, is it an indication that maybe they will now have maybe power tussles in a relationship? Or you now have people say, oh, he came with nothing, she's one that has everything, and they are together.
That's when you look out for things that are not being said. You are in a relationship, you have more than the guy. There are some behaviors he will put up. If he's truly happy for you, you will know. If you are really looking, reading in between the lines. Sometimes it's just like, oh yeah, now I'm making comments, now only you. Things like that. Know that that's a red flag. Because this guy is not going to be cheering you forever until maybe you and then you, the guy too. Is this girl, is she trying to pull you up? Because you can say, from how many million, what do you want to do?
Right.
You know that, okay, this is a girl that is ready to partner with me. And don't forget, women too, we now have this mindset that, men, they just want to go dig and everything. So it's not easy for the men. I feel sorry for them. Especially younger ones.
No, women are more intelligent than men. Let me say that women are more intelligent than men.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're trying
right?
to patronize us
No,
now.
I'm not patronizing
You're trying
you.
to patronize us
But
now.
they say this thing that I heard. Men have financial clock. They say women have biological clock. Right? You see, a 25-year-old lady is can par with a 35-year-old man, but a 35-year-old man and a 35-year-old woman are not the same. We're not the same. So when it comes to the relationship between men and women, especially when it comes to the conversation of successful women and men, we have a crisis where men don't know who they are outside of money, outside of being able to provide. There's a question that we ask our boys: who are you outside of the money you can give? If your money goes away today, who do you become? Right? And a lot of men cannot answer that question because our music, our politics has been shaped by whoever has the most. You know, we don't, and now we're in a society that doesn't even care how you get that money. We only care that you are able to give that money out. So we need to bring the conversation home to how are we raising our boys to be valuable men, to have value for themselves, so that money is not the only thing that defines who they are. If money is the only thing that shapes who you are, then there's something wrong. And even as a woman, we, as much as we are saying men are threatened by successful women, there are women that would not go close to a man who is not successful, because sometimes success, the proof of success is financial gain. And some men might not be successful financially. Even some people will tell you, he doesn't have money, what are you doing with him? All right? So, and even as a man, you feel some type of way when you are not able to provide. Some men want to do nice things for their women. They are not nonchalant men, but they're just broke men. They don't have the resources to. But
sorry. No. I disagree. I will disagree with I will disagree with that, because being broke and being intentional are two different things. You can be intentional with your babe and she knows that you're broke and she understands. Don't pass it as an excuse that I want to do things
sometimes
for you.
intentionality, yes, you know. So
you still need money to finance.
I'm not disputing that fact. I'm just saying that don't excuse intentionality with brokenness. They are two different things. And then I'll also add that
sometimes when you are broke, you really have the mindset. I do a lot of divorce cases, custody issues. When you see the man, he comes to court, the judge is asking, so how much can you afford for these 3 children? He's saying that he cannot do more than 10,000 in a month.
But
he's
you said something earlier about partnership, right? If there is partnership and you are broke, the intentionality is still going to be there. You are communicating, you are talking. No, wait, let's not even move from the conversation, because that's a different conversation to start with. But I'm also going to say something earlier about this topic, because I was having a conversation with somebody this morning, and he said, you know, this thing about men, somebody said earlier that there is not a yes or a no answer. They're from different perspectives. So apparently, the Southern men don't care if you are more successful than them, because as long as they are concerned, they are the head of the home. So if you like, go out and make billions of naira. When you come back, it is his money. He's the one that decides how the money.
If she makes the money?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from the southern part of this country, and to an extent, I will agree with you. It's like growing up, your mom has a responsibility to teach you how to cope in a polygamous setting. You're like, this is what you are supposed to do, because this is what you are supposed to do. When my mom will be like, they know they use food, you don't get angry, your wrath, don't let it get to the next day, you settle it in bed. I'm like, what is she saying? They'll be instilling all those kind, because the man, once you are doing one thing, he moves to the next house where they will give him traditional pedicure. I know before all this garnishing of food, we garnish food where I come from, Warri. You make sure that the head of the home, you give him the best fish head, not be fish. When you see fish head, when we say, wait, this one not big now, you know, that kind of thing. So if you are trying to do shake, he's moving. You are the one that will be starving.
Exactly.
And then because you are tied to some kind of traditional belief that you cannot do any, the gods will be angry. You are just there, okay, my children, let me take care of my children. So to an extent, I will agree with you, but not all men. But there's competition.
We say not all men. It's all men now. Because we just talk about men from different perspectives.
All men in the southern part of the country. But that's some are different.
So just even boiling down to, because we have to go now, just boiling down to what we said about partnership. Back to my question where I said, should a woman have to tone her success down for the man? I mean, I would say a capital no. Because don't start what you cannot, finish. It's not, if the man is not secure with what you have now, trust that he will not be secure even in marriage or later on in life. What we should, aim for is partnership, where you know that the person I'm going to be with, he is not in any way feeling less of himself, he's not intimidated, he is not, having an issue with my success, but instead he is also pushing himself to be positively motivated.
But you know, sometimes being prepared, it comes halfway in the journey.
Yeah.
You are a bank manager, you are doing well, all of a sudden your job is gone. You were not prepared for that, because when you were cutting this girl 12 roses, chocolates, blah, 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 nobody prepared your mind that one day that job can just go.
And if
So
it goes,
at that point,
so if it goes at that point, maybe the financial burden moves to the wife. But because you have the mindset of partnership, you're not going to suddenly feel like, oh, I'm less of a man because at this
sometimes
point,
the women are not emotionally intelligent.
You
Let
to have good
Said
behavior.
something earlier.
climb
He said that you know what they're trying to do with the men in his community is to ask them, who are you
Outside
without your
of-
money? Because
yeah.
even with some of our parents, it happens. Your dad is in the civil service, he's working, he's making money. The moment he leaves work and he's not giving money anymore, it becomes a shadow of himself, and it affects the relationship in the
Yes.
family.
Okay.
So at the very core, let men and even women think of themselves and the value that they bring outside of their money and success.
Amazing. And
Yeah.
financial intelligence.
I
Just
agree.
because we have to go, I still would want Daniel to talk a bit, but let's go on a quick break. When we get back, we have our agree or disagree, and we get to battle just a little bit. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the show. It's been an interesting conversation, but now we have our agree or disagree segment. So we're going to see a statement of the day. We get to agree, disagree, and defend our answer. So let's see today's statements. We've been talking about Nigerian men. Okay, many Nigerian men are not intimidated by successful women. They are intimidated by women who don't need them financially.
Same difference.
They are intimidated by women.
It's the exact same
They're
thing.
intimidated by women who don't need them financially.
It's the exact same thing.
Agree
We
or
just
disagree?
twisted the question. You put the one from the end and then it's the exact same thing because
Mr. Jollof.
Okay, disagree.
Okay.
Disagree because one of the things that we have to also understand is that men and women are built differently. The things we value as men differs from the things that women value also.
Yeah.
Sometimes I remember, just thinking about the whole conversation of being threatened. I remember being young when I was just starting out of school and I was working and I was using like a iPhone 7 and then I see
You were
a
even
lady
using iPhone 7.
and I'm seeing the ladies like an iPhone 11. Okay, like now there's iPhone 17, right? And I'm
Yeah.
using an iPhone 12 or 11 and I see a woman, I'm like, oh, okay. I have to, what value do I bring to the table outside of, because I'm like, if you can afford to use a close to 2 million naira phone, then there's something valuable about you. What kind of man are you looking for? So there is a part for a lot of men that still boils down to how will I be treated if I'm unable to provide.
Okay.
And that I think is at the core of why men sometimes shy away from successful women. And also the whole narrative of my money, your money started off because, women and men competitively began to earn money and women were earning competitively more than the man. So my money, your money still boils down to, if there is a need in the house, would you step up? Would you say it's your responsibility as the man? Don't forget that you women here are on the higher pedestal of the intelligent women. There are women on the other side who still do not agree to some of these ideologies of we're partners. They're like, oh, the man is the head of the home. Whatever he wants to do with his money, and whatever I want to do with my money, I can do with my money. So it's also, we need to continuously educate our people about it. So I disagree.
Okay, Mr. Jollof disagrees. Barrister told you, do you agree or do you disagree?
I'll be in the middle. I'll be in the middle. Like he rightly said, and I'll still say it here, the question is not, I started by saying that a woman, once you are ready, somebody from the Jollof gang, they will just come pick you up, even if you decide not to work and the money is flowing, you are just there, you are doing that. But the part of being threatened by what they, please can you put it up again, by what they,
Many Nigerian men are not intimidated by successful women. They are intimidated by women who don't need them financially.
I will agree that who don't need them financially, it can be intimidating. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I will be in the middle. I'll be in the middle. Like he said, the iPhone 17 and iPhone 5. You that you are managing, scraping, you now see a girl with iPhone 7. Immediately you are saying,
Can
why?
I measure
This
up?
not my level, that kind of thing.
Okay.
It's not easy, and sometimes I guess they can get it much more easier than the guys because of things happening in the society. Although the guys too, they are trying to do their own way of trying to get rich fast. It's all the pressure. You must impress. You must. Your mates are driving cars. You must be this. You must be that. So then you are doing all of that. You now see that the babe, she's on almost 9-figure. You still a day for 170,000 level, something in one.
There's a huge pressure
Yeah,
to
there's
a huge pressure
there.
to be successful really fast now
Yes,
than before.
yes.
Because
On men? Or
on
just
generally,
generally, yeah.
the age to become millionaire now is 12.
Huh?
Yeah, the age to be a millionaire now is 12. You can become a
Please,
millionaire
let's
by
not move
12.
on to because I still have something to say.
So there's pressure to become rich quickly,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that pressure is shaping us. I also want to just chip in that our music has a huge contribution to how our men are being shaped,
Yeah.
how our musicians are living their life, how our political class are living their life, and we see these things as men. We see how other men take advantage of the fact that another man does not have.
But
You
in the
know.
midst, there are some girls that don't want Ferrari, they don't want anything, even though they are driving Ferrari.
She said, "Now, my love." Oh. Anyway, are you going first?
Let me go first before
Okay.
Nancy, because I know her strong points go. We'll just close on that. We'll just close on that matter. I would agree, because just like I said before, I get that the African man would, because of the natural innate nature to
Yeah.
want to provide, would first of all feel a little intimidated. Just like you said, what do I bring to the table? She already looks like she has everything. What's now my use, right? So he definitely might feel intimidated, especially when they now know, like it's confirmed to them, that if his money matters, they will not come to you. Maybe it's any house, marriage, children, that you would now come in, and it makes them just feel less of a man, or just like their purpose is just belittled. But like I said, I believe people are evolving, and also because I want to bring in the perspective for the woman, that even if you have everything, right? I mean, you would still feel the need to be a baby girl. Still feel the need to want to enjoy your husband's money. Because
Yeah.
trust me, if I have all the money in the world, I will not want to spend it. It's just like we have said on the table, the money that comes from the man is sweeter sometimes than your own money, right?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to translate or express to my partner that I don't need it financially, even if I have everything. I can have the millions and billions and trillions, amen?
Amen.
I can have all of the money, but I will still let my husband know that, please, I want to do my hair, how far? Because I know it would, it would do something for him, but also because I want to spend, money can never be too much, to be very honest, and that's what I
So
think.
we are
Can never be too
centering
much.
everything on money. If we really look at the word partnership, you might have 30 billion naira now, and I don't have any money, but I have the expertise, and we are coming into business.
But the
You
question is
I'm bringing my
financial,
equity. So other things can translate to. It's because we are just pinpointing the whole thing on
Because
money.
money is the cocoa.
If you now say I'm the one bringing XYZ, because
Yes.
it's playing some roles too.
Okay.
I guess too should learn to, like, okay, I'm going into a partnership with
right?
this guy. To
Okay,
be,
Nancy, you go, because we don't
Okay,
have time.
so
yeah.
I'm going to start from the fact that we've already established on this table that money is the key determinant in success in Africa. And so when you say that a man is not intimidated by a woman who is financially successful and is just intimidated by what he can provide for her, or she not needing him financially, for me, that's one and the same thing.
Yeah.
Because she is financially successful, so
Yeah.
clearly she doesn't need your money. Right? So you can't, it's if a man is going to be intimidated, a man is going to be intimidated. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with whether a woman is successful or she needs him financially. And what, piggybacking on what Osara just said, even successful women just want to relax
Exactly.
and be taken care of.
Exactly.
So I started by saying that there are one too many angles to look at this thing, because
True.
like you can't really say that a man is intimidated or not intimidated. At the end of the day, it boils down to the relationship that this person has with whoever they are in a partnership with. Exactly, because so you can't say that, oh, on the general note, yes, it would seem like men are intimidated by successful women. But at the end of the day, you find successful women in relationships. Let's take, for example, Ibukun Awoshika.
Yeah.
The way she speaks about her husband. Now, we don't really know much about what he does or how much he has, but you would never see her speak down on him, or like she'll always
That's the
reverse
mutual respect.
exactly. She'll always reverse him in any of the conversations that she has, or any platform that she has to talk about. She speaks about him. I was listening to her a few days ago, and she said, "Oh, there's this one of her friends that." Became successful early and got into and wanted to buy a house, and like, I don't buy a house, it will intimidate men and everything. She was like, the girl went ahead and bought a 4-bedroom apartment in the Lekki that was just Lekki phase 1 when it was just starting, and guess what, she married a man with a bigger house opposite her. Right, so there are all of those things. Me personally, when I wanted to learn how to drive, my brother learned how to drive when he was 18. I was thinking that, oh, it's a family thing. Once I turn 18, I will learn how to drive as well. When I turned 18, my mother said, no, you cannot learn how to drive because you intimidate a man. Like, I don't even have a car. Driving is like essential. It's a life skill. So how is that supposed to intimidate a man? But again, it goes back to the cultural biases that we've all been raised with.
Okay, all right. I mean, it's been a very, very feisty conversation, but let's hear our wise words just before we go. Daniel, could you read first, please?
The most courageous act is still to think for yourself aloud, Coco Channel.
Okay, interesting, interesting. Well, just like
I was about to ask, like, what's the connection?
Think for yourself. Don't allow other people to think how you should be intimidated. You are in it.
Well, there is that, and you know, we can't take out the fact that, you know, parenting is a huge part to everything that is shaping our world today. Who a child is going to become. My therapist says the life your child will live, you are currently living it. So if we have dysfunctional parents, we're going to have dysfunctional society.
Absolutely.
So we need our parenting to be fixed. We need our governmental institution, religious institution to step up in the responsibility of re-engineering the people, because we've allowed the internet and people who are doing things to set an agenda to shape our world for us. So we need very intentional people who care about the world to make things right.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Many gems. And just like we know and understand, love and success don't have to compete, but they do require maturity, security, and honest conversations. Today's discussion reminds us that relationships are evolving, expectations are shifting, and both men and women are navigating ambition in real time. The real question isn't just about intimidation, it's about understanding, partnership, and growth. So a big thank you to our guest, Daniel, for the insights, representing the Jollof men. Okay. And of course, thank you to everyone.
No, Nigerian Jollof.
Nigerian Jollof, like he says. Thank you to the ladies, and thank you to everyone who has watched and engaged thoughtfully. And if you love this conversation, get ready, because the Big Conversation Conference is coming up this March, and we're going deeper. More topics, more time, more learning, more laughter, freebies, and networking, all in one powerful day. So if you'd love to partner with us, our DM is open. We can talk. My name is Osara Nomasaba. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a fabulous weekend, and we'll be back next week for another episode of
The Big Conversation.
Voices rising, stories told, truth unfolding, brave and bold. In this space we speak our mind, different views all intertwined. It's the big conversation where the real ones talk. From the heart of the nation we all take that walk. Through the fire, through the facts we don't hold back. It's the big conversation. Voices rising, stories told, truth unfolding, brave and bold. In this space we speak our mind, different views all intertwined. It's the big conversation where the real ones talk. From the heart of the nation